Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm Mario. I'm a product marketer at Pentest-Tools.com, and I'll be your host today. We're really excited to have you join us for our first ever webinar. So thank you for being here, and thank you for trusting us with your time. As you well know, today's topic is how to automate vulnerability detection and reporting for SOC 2. Today, I'll be joined by two people who know this space inside and out, Adrian Fortuna, our founder and CEO, and Dragos Sandu, one of our product managers, who works closely with both customers and the engineering team to shape how the tools actually work. Throughout the session, feel free to drop your questions in the Q&A box, and we'll answer them live or in written form by the end. And we'll also spare some time in the end to answer as many questions as we can, if we cannot answer them live during the live demo. And for now, that would be it from me. Adrian, over to you to kick things off.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for being here. Thank you, Mario, for the introduction. My name is Adrian Fortuna, and today we'll be speaking about how to automate vulnerability discovery and reporting for SOC 2 compliance. A few words about ourselves. So I'm Adrian. I'm the founder and CEO of Pentest-Tools. I've been working in cybersecurity space for more than 20 years. I've been doing some speaking at some events like Black Hat, Team for Security, and so on. And yeah, I like to get my hands dirty from time to time with a lot of technical stuff besides running the company. And I will show them to you today. Together with me, I have my colleague Dragos Sandu. I'll let Dragos tell a few words about himself.
Hi there. First of all, thank you for your interest in our first webinar. Hopefully more will come, so let us know in the Q&A section what you think about it. About me, I've joined Pentest-Tools 6 years ago as a software developer, and for 2 years now, I have been working as a product manager. Thanks.
Thank you, Dragos. And in order to do this webinar somehow bi-directional, we'd like to ask you to enter into the questions area, which country are you coming from? So we can get a sense of the spreading of this session. So we're waiting for your comments in the question section. The agenda for today. So we will have a small introduction about Pentest-Tools.com. Then we will be doing a live demonstration of the scenario that we're proposing. And at the end, we will have a Q&A session. Before starting, I'm curious if any of you has answered. So we have Sasha from Mexico. Hi, Sasha. Gyula from Hungary. Edgar from Mexico. Andrew from Canada. Hello. Miguel from Spain. Ben from the UK. Robert, UK. Stacy, Bryce, Canada. Stephen, Ireland. El Salvador, South Africa, Scotland, USA, UK, USA, and so on. So Uruguay, Romania. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. So I know that some of you are already customers of ours, of Pentest-Tools.com, but others are not. So we'll tell you a few words about Pentest-Tools as a company. So we are a cybersecurity company based in Bucharest, Romania. And we have a team of more than 60 people, most of us cybersecurity professionals and enthusiasts. We're a bootstrapped company, meaning that intentionally we did not raise any funds yet. And one of the reasons was because we've been profitable since day one, which was back in 2017. And as Deloitte says, we're one of the fastest growing companies in EMEA. We're very happy to be trusted by more than 2,000 security teams all over the world, as you have already seen. And we do a lot of scans. So last year we did more than 6 million scans through our platform, meaning that one scan every 5 seconds has run through Pentest-Tools. And we at Pentest-Tools believe that it is our mission to help our customers to proactively defend against cyber attacks, and show them what are their vulnerabilities in their websites and network infrastructures and cloud. This is part of our team. We like to hang out at various security events and conferences. This is us last year at DevCamp. If you don't know, DevCamp is one of the largest cybersecurity conferences in Europe. And we participated there with almost entire team. And Pentest-Tools as a product, it's a cloud-based solution for performing accurate penetration testing and vulnerability assessments. And in Pentest-Tools, you will find more than 20 tools and vulnerability scanners. Some of them are written by our engineering team, so they are custom tools, and others are open source tools integrated into the platform. The beautiful part here is that all of these tools work very well with each other, and they produce compatible results. So it's very easy to run multiple scanners and from all of them to create very quickly a report. Besides that, you can perform various automations on top of them. You can work in a team. You can integrate Pentest-Tools with other solutions to transmit vulnerabilities for vulnerability management, do continuous monitoring, and so on. These are our main customer personas to which we address to. So the security consultants, we also address to internal security teams and also to MSPs and MSSPs. And at the end, but not the least, here are the main use cases which our customers have for using Pentest-Tools. So the first one, our customers use the product to perform penetration testing, but human-led. It's not a platform for fully automated penetration testing. But it helps to speed up the process very much and make it very easy comparing to the traditional approach. Then with Pentest-Tools, you can perform full vulnerability assessments for web applications, APIs, network infrastructures, and cloud infrastructures. And then with Pentest-Tools, you can also perform security compliance for SOC 2, ISO 27001, PCI DSS, and so on. And this is one of the scenarios that we will show you today. Yeah, so this was a brief overview of our company. And now let's dive into the juicy stuff. Let us show you the demo that we have prepared. So we have created a lab environment, which is very similar to what our customers are using today with Pentest-Tools. So our company will be Synapticare. It's a medical services company, and what they do, they have an online platform for telemedicine and virtual healthcare services, meaning that they let patients connect to doctors through their platform. As you can imagine, this type of setup system handles a lot of sensitive information. So that's why this company must meet the criteria of some security frameworks like HIPAA and SOC 2 Type 2. Probably you are familiar with SOC 2. You can also leave us a comment in the chat if your company is required to have this certification. And you probably know that for SOC 2, you need to demonstrate that the company performs ongoing monitoring of the systems that handle sensitive data. And you also need to show that you perform regular vulnerability assessments. And also to show the documentation and what you have done with the risks that you have identified. Okay, and for these all these requirements, the company has chosen Pentest-Tools to run their vulnerability assessment program. Good. This is the story. And now let's deep dive into the technical setup. This is a snippet of the network of the company. And you can see here that there are 3 servers which are included in the scope for SOC 2 compliance. And these 3 servers are hosted in an AWS private cloud. And the employees of the company, in order to access these services, need to go through a VPN gateway. And let me tell you a few words about each one. So the first one on top is an application which runs on a server for customer support people. And these customer support people use this application to help patients whenever they have technical difficulties with their own platform. This one is a caching server which runs Redis. And this one is being used by the application in order to perform faster session management. And the third one is a file sharing server, which runs Windows. And this one is being used internally by the employees to share various medical template reports and use cases for their patients. So this is the infrastructure that we need to scan, we need to perform security assessment on. And for that, we will need to scan it with Pentest-Tools. And now I'll let Dragos take it from here and show you how you can connect Pentest-Tools with this infrastructure in order to perform the scans. Dragos, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So let me share my screen to see how this infrastructure looks like in AWS. So we can see here we have 4 machines. 3 of them Adrian already discussed about, and the VPN gateway. So we need to scan these machines with Pentest-Tools, right? For this, we need to add the IPs of these machines in Pentest-Tools. And to do that, we first need to get a new access key. And I will create one right now by going to security credentials here. Scroll to access keys, and I will create a new one. I will choose third-party service for this demo, confirm, and create access key. Now that we have this access key, we can go to Pentest-Tools and use them. Here is the dashboard of Pentest-Tools. This is how it looks like when we logged in. As you can see, we have no assets added here. And let's try to import them from AWS, because this is where our infrastructure is. Because we don't have any integration added, I will first add the integration. I will add a suggestive name. For the region, I will choose London because this is where the infrastructure is deployed. And for access key and secret key, we can use the one we've just created. So I will copy and paste both of them. I'll hit add. And now we have the integration and we can continue with importing the assets. And because we are talking about a private cloud, which is not accessible directly from the internet, we are interested in the private IPs of those machines. So I will choose private and hit import. And here we have all 4 IPs of those 4 machines we've showed earlier. But if we go back to the diagram, there is a missing piece here. And the missing piece is the connection between our AWS private cloud and the Pentest-Tools scanning infrastructure. So basically, we need to connect these two together. And we'll do this by deploying a Pentest-Tools agent, this one over here, whose purpose is not to scan the machines by itself, but instead it just creates a connection, outbound communication between AWS private cloud and our scanning capabilities. So let's deploy this agent right now together. And for this, I will go back to AWS. But this time we are looking to deploy a new machine. And I will click on Launch Instance. I will give it a name which is easy to remember. For the image, I will search for Pentest-Tools. And here we will find our image, which is publicly available in the AWS marketplace. And we can use this, click subscribe, because the agent itself doesn't perform any scans. We don't need a lot of resources for this. So the default and the smaller T2 micro instance type is suitable for this scenario. For the key pair, I will use an existing key pair. For network settings, we can go with the defaults, but please notice the fact that we are allowing SSH connection to this machine, and we will use this in a moment. We can keep everything else unchanged and click on Launch Instance. Give it a minute, and we can open the instance we've just created and get its private IP address, which is this one. But before trying to connect to it, we first need to establish this connection between my laptop over here and the AWS private cloud. So I'll do this first. I have here OpenVPN profile. And now if I open a terminal, let's try to connect to the machine we just deployed. Oh, okay, so it says the VPN agent is not configured yet. And please enter the unique ID from platform/VPN profiles. So what this means, what's an unique ID? So basically the purpose of this unique ID is to connect a workspace in Pentest-Tools with this specific agent we've just deployed. So if we go back to platform, we want to connect this Synaptic Care workspace with the agent we've just deployed. And for this, we first need a VPN profile, which I'm going to create right now by going to Settings, VPN Profiles, and here I will add a new one. Again, I will use easy to remember name. And I will attach it to two workspaces we will gonna use in this webinar and hit save. Now that we have the VPN profile, we can open it and find its unique ID. I can copy this, but before pasting it into terminal, please notice the fact that it says offline here, meaning that it's not connected yet to any agent, but this should change in a moment. I'm back in the terminal. I'll just paste the unique ID we've copied earlier. And now the agent is trying to start. And it says it started successfully. And now if we look again in the platform, we can see that it mentioned now online, meaning that it automatically detected that the agent is up and running. And now we have everything we need to basically start scanning the assets we've added. And I will let Adrian show you how easy we can do this with Pentest-Tools.
Dragos has showed us how we performed this connection between our infrastructure and the target servers. So right now we're just operating with the Pentest-Tools services, which will perform the scans through this tunnel and reach the private cloud network. Good. Now, yeah, we're going to the assets page. These are the assets imported from AWS. And we see the VPN gateway, we see the caching server, back office, and the file sharing windows. Now, at the beginning, we don't know which services are here. And in order to perform a quick scan, we will select all of them and start a port scan against them. But before doing that, let me show you a quick overview over the toolset that we're having. So as you can see here, the tools are being split into these main four categories. We have reconnaissance tools, which show you to get a quick view of the attack surface of the target, to perform subdomain discovery, domain discovery, port scanning, WAF detection, fuzzing, and so on. Then we have the network vulnerability scanners. This one we will be using today, network scanner. Then we have a password auditor, SSL scanner, cloud scanner, Kubernetes scanner. Then another main category is the web vulnerability scanners, where we have our main tool here, the website scanner. Then we have an API scanner and also scanners for various CMSs. And we have this category for the exploitation part, where the main tool here is Sniper, which performs automatic exploitation of critical CVEs. But we will start with the network scanner against, with the port scanner against all these hosts. And we will run a deep scan, which scans the most common ports. The port scanner is basically Nmap behind. And it's very effective in determining open ports and services. And let's open the first one. So this is the caching server. We see the Nmap output. We see that it has discovered, so we can go back to the raw output. It has discovered SSH and Redis running on this server. And yeah, this is the visual output here. And in order to see this for all the three servers, we need to enter each scan result. But if there are many hosts, it's pretty difficult to do that. That's why we have created this attack surface functionality in Pentest-Tools, which aggregates the results of multiple tools in terms of the attack surface. So we see here that we have scanned 4 addresses, so together with the gateway. And for instance, for 2.119, we see that it's running Linux operating system, and it has 2 open ports, SSH Redis, and we see the service version and so on. The other one is running also SSH and also on port 3000, which we'll see later on. And the third machine is the Windows machine, correctly identified. And here are some ports specific to Windows. So you can see remote desktop, file sharing, and so on. Okay, so this is a quick attack surface overview to see what services are being exposed in the network. And now let's see if there are any vulnerabilities. In order to do that, we go back to the assets, and the same, we select all of them, and we go into the vulnerability scanners area, and we select network scanner. So our network vulnerability scanner is a tool very similar to Qualys, Nessus, Nexpose, and others in this category. To show you a few details about it, so it runs in the back multiple scanning engines. These 2 are written by ourselves. The other 2 are open source engines. So we have a version-based engine, which what it does, it looks at the services of the target host, and according to the version of those services, it interrogates a database with CVEs and extracts a list of potential vulnerabilities. As you probably know, this detection method is pretty weak, but it's very fast. The other engine, it's the sniper engine. This is related to the sniper auto exploiter that I previously told you about. And this contains custom detection modules written by our team. The third engine is Nuclei, which is the well-known open source tool, and the same OpenVAS. You can select which types of ports you want to scan. We will go with the defaults. There are a lot of other options here. So we will run a deep scan, which has enabled all of them. So these are the port scanners. The network scanners have come up. They have already started running. And let's go through also to 119, the Redis server. As you can see here, the network vulnerability scanner also starts with the port scan. in order to determine what's exposed in the network. It has detected also SSH and Redis ports. It also runs service version discovery, which takes a bit of time. And yeah, it takes a bit of time. And it still takes a bit of time. And finally, it finished. Good. So this is the port scanning that we already saw. Then going further, you can see that it starts to run all the engines that I told you about. So first, it ran the version-based engine. And we can see that this one has already found some vulnerabilities, but these are version-based. So this is the one. This is version-based, and you can see that in Pentest-Tools, each vulnerability has a status, which right now is unconfirmed. And we put it intentionally this way because it's a version-based detection, as I told you about. And this engine looked at the version and said for version 507 of Redis, it has detected a lot of CVEs, which are affecting it. And as you can see, for each CVE, we provide, besides the CVSS score, we provide the EPSS score and the percentile. This means this score gives the exploitation probability of the CVE. So it has a 9 CVE score, which is high, but the exploitation is very low. So this score is important in order to make a prioritization of these vulnerabilities whenever you need to fix them. And also another important aspect here is if the vulnerability is included in the CISA catalog. As you probably know, CISA holds a catalog of exploited vulnerabilities in the wild. And this meaning that if this is yes, it means that this CVE is already being exploited by some cyber criminals out there. Okay, in the meanwhile, the version-based has finished. Then it started the sniper engine, which is the custom module that I told you about. And the sniper engine has discovered that the target is vulnerable to a remote code execution vulnerability. And as you can see, this one is confirmed. So we strive to confirm as much as possible from the vulnerabilities because a confirmed vulnerability is a vulnerability that you need to fix right away because the tool has managed to actually make a small exploitation of it in order to confirm it. So in this case, the scanner said that it has run a payload, this payload, on the Redis server, and this payload executes the ID command on a Linux machine, and it shows that the result of the ID command, meaning that the Redis process is running as root on that server. So this is the evidence for the vulnerability. Now, going on the details, we can see a description of the vulnerability, which describes the root cause. Then it says a risk description, saying that a remote unauthenticated attacker can fully compromise the server and steal confidential information, install ransomware, and so on. A recommendation, of course, to upgrade. references, and you also see here the inclusion of this vulnerability in CISA KEV, non-exploitable vulnerabilities, CVSS of 10, and so on. And at this point, we have the vulnerability detection with the confirmations. If we want to go deeper and actually exploit this vulnerability, we can do it with Sniper, but it's a bit out of the scope of this talk, so we can maybe leave it for later. Good. So this network scanner is still running. Now it's going with the nuclei engine, and it will take some time. This takes about between 15 and 20 minutes. We won't wait that long. But in order to see the finished scan, we have another workspace here. So you can organize your assets in workspaces to group them. And here we have some finished scans for the same targets. So for the 119, the Redis one, so this is how a finished scan looks like. It has this critical one and two high-risk vulnerabilities. It has also detected unauthenticated access to the Redis server. But let's move to some other interesting findings. So let's move to the other one. If you remember, I told you in the beginning that there is a server which hosts an application for the customer support team. So this is the server 10.0.2.1.5.1. And guess what? This one has another critical vulnerability. And probably you remember this middleware bypass issue in Next.js. This is a recent vulnerability which came up recently in this year. And the scanner says that it has managed to detect this vulnerability using this request and response. So you can see that also strong evidence of the problem. So if we go to see what is actually there at this URL, so we see this support center application. It requires your username and password. We don't know what it is, but the scanner says that this can be bypassed. So we can see that we have some steps to reproduce this vulnerability, but more easily we can see in the request and response that it has injected this header in the request, and in the response it received, you can see here, something different than what we saw here. So when you access it regularly, you don't see any admin panel here. But by injecting that request, it has discovered an admin dashboard. In order to play with it further, and let's see how this looks like if we want to reproduce it, what we need to do is actually add this header to the request that we're doing to this application, and let's see if we can bypass the authentication. In order to do that, I have installed a simple extension in Firefox. This allows me to modify any header that I want. And let's put the header. So this is the URL. The header name, we take it from the scanner. So the scanner says that it has inserted this header, X middleware sub request. And with a certain value, we take the value from here. Okay, press add. So now, every time we access this URL, our browser will also send this header. So if we go to the main page, we can see that this has bypassed the authentication and it accessed the admin portal, which of course contains patient-sensitive information, and we don't want anybody unauthorized to do that. Well, so this was a sample vulnerability from the second server, from the application server. It doesn't have any other vulnerabilities up until this point. And the last thing that I want to show you here is for the Windows server. For the Windows server, it has identified also a high-risk vulnerability. It has identified SMB anonymous access. You remember that the employees are using SMB to share files between each other. And this is actually a nuclei module, which has also listed the shares available from the server. SMB not signed, and so on. Good. So this is we've passed through each network vulnerability scan and saw the interesting vulnerabilities. Now, as I told you in the beginning, each of these scans sends the findings into a single place, and this is the findings page. You can easily sort this. We see the same vulnerabilities here. Some interesting aspects that you don't find easily in other similar tools. For instance, if you go into one of these vulnerabilities and this was version-based and a scanner gave it as a high vulnerability, we know that there are no exploitable things inside, so we maybe want to lower the risk. So we can change the risk to medium. And we say here an explanation that these vulnerabilities are not easily exploitable. We save this. And we see that the risk has been modified to medium. And if we go on the vulnerability, there was this the finding history here. You can see that the scanner has identified it as a high risk. Then it came Adrian Furtuna and modified some things on the vulnerability. And lastly, he changed the risk from high to medium for this reason. So you have tracking of why some things are not according to the initial scan. You can do that, or you can just leave it as produced by the scanner. And since we've been talking about SOC 2 compliance, you need to also produce some reports, and you can filter the scans by the date, select which ones you want to scan and to include, and select the findings and hit this big button, generate report, where I'll show you the security testing report, but you also have an editable one, which is very nice, but subject to another webinar. And the report is ready. I save it and I'm opening it. And it's basically, it contains the findings grouped by target with all the details that we previously saw. Good. So this was how you can do it one time a one-time assessment of the infrastructure. But Dragos will show us now how you can automate this and make it recurrent, so you don't have to do it every time manually in Pentest-Tools. Dragos, please take it from here.
Thank you. Let me share my screen again. Basically, we've scanned all these assets once, but in SOC 2, we need to show that we are scanning them on a recurrent basis. So for this in Pentest-Tools, you can schedule scans. And to do this, we can again select all the assets we are interested in. Select the tool. Let's go with network scanner again. But instead of starting the scan, I will schedule the scans. And let's assume we want these scans to happen, to start this Saturday at 4 a.m. and to repeat every week. So the first scan will be this Saturday, and afterwards, every week, we will have automatically a new scan. Also, we can automatically send the results of each scan result to Venta for even easier compliance if you are using Venta for compliance already. I will schedule the scans, and we should see them here. Here they are. So they are now configured, but this means we need every week to log in Pentest-Tools and manually check the results of each of the scheduled scans and see if anything new which requires our attention. But we can also make this easier by also configuring an alert. So we want to be alerted only when something needs our attention. For this, we can go to settings, but this time we are going to notifications, and we'll add a new one. I will name it new vulnerability alert. And for the trigger, I will choose vulnerability diff from previous scan. So basically, I want to be notified every time the latest scan contains something which wasn't in the previous scan or something different. And for this, I can choose where I want to be notified. For this webinar, we'll be using an email address, but you can also make use of various other integrations like Slack, Teams, Discord, and so on. Oops. Wrong click. From previous scan. Okay, hit save. And now we have the notification configured. So we have schedule scans enabled, we have notification configured. And now let's assume the following scenario. I'm a software developer, and my task for today is to update one of the machines. So if I go back to our infrastructure, let's say I want to update the back office app to a latest version. I made some updates to it. I will simulate this by connecting through SSH to that machine, and I will simulate the deployment of the latest version of the app. So I will go back to terminal, open a new one. Oh, okay. We are in, and we can see that we are running Docker right now, a Docker container. I will stop this. And I will open a new one. Oh, okay.
And here we're simulating that developer has updated the application and introduced something.
Something, yeah, a new version of the app, exactly. And now we can also wait until it's Saturday and the scan is started, or we can simulate the schedule scan right now manually. And I will do exactly this. I will select the asset we've just updated, again using network scanner. But to make things faster, I will go with the custom setting for now and disable all engines except nuclei. And I will also specify the port of the where our application is working. Okay. And now I've started the scan, and it needs some minutes to get the ball rolling. I think that in the meantime, we can take one or two questions.
Okay.
If there are any.
So in the chat, somebody says that the integration with Vanta is very nice. It's possible to add something similar to Toropass. Maybe we can add it to our feature request list.
Yeah, of course. We can look into it. What we can tell you is that we are now working to send also vulnerabilities through Vanta. So definitely we are looking into this part, this compliance part. Yeah.
Okay. Another question also related to integrations. If we have any plans to add the Jira to notifications?
Yes, we have. Currently, you can send vulnerabilities to Jira, but only manually. So you go to findings page, select the findings you want to send with Jira, and that's it. But we are also planning on connecting them with notifications. So based on the trigger you are configuring, to send only specific vulnerabilities to Jira. Sorry.
Okay. Sasha has asked us some questions related to Sniper. I will show you an output of Sniper at the end. We also have a question from the people who have joined, who have subscribed to the webinar. So Richard has asked us, has said, I've looked at Nuclei Commercial Edition from Project Discovery and understand that Nuclei is part of the Pentest-Tools suite. He's curious if there is any reason to purchase from Project Discovery when there is already embedded in Pentest-Tools. Yeah, that's a good question. As you have already seen in Pentest-Tools, we have a lot more than Nuclei. But on top of Nuclei, there are also custom modules created by our team. And also, as you will see, some of the findings are improved from Nuclei. So we believe that Pentest-Tools is a more complete solution for that.
In the meantime, the scan made some progress, And we can see the critical vulnerability Adrian already discussed about. But in this new version of the app, we can also see a new vulnerability. And this refers to a .env file disclosure. So it says that if we go here and access this link, we reach to a .env file, which is publicly available, which contains a lot of sensitive data, as you might expect. We can also see its content here, the request, the response, but also the content of the file itself. And we see juicy information such as Stripe secret key, for example, which might lead to financial data or client data, but also AWS access keys and secret access keys. So as the one we've previously configured, this can get access to for a bad actor to a set of assets. Also, if we expand the details section, based on what Adrian previously mentioned related to nuclei question, we can see that the vulnerability description, risk description, recommendation, all of them are very well written, and this was all rewritten by our engineering team. So we are making sure that the findings we generate are ready to be included in a report. And also with this finding specifically in nuclei, it will be detected 3 times, I think. So
yeah, it's duplicate, triplicate.
Triplicate, yeah, it is detected by various templates. So this is again intervention by our security team. So these are the small but important differences when you add them all up between working with nuclei as it is or embedded it in Pentest-Tools and get the values of this manual intervention. And the scan is finished. So because we've discovered a new vulnerability here, we should have get an email, right? Because we've created that notification. So if we go to our inbox here and click on refresh, we can see that we've got an email using the name I have configured for the notification itself. And if we open it, we can see that we matched this condition, diff from previous scan, by discovering a new finding, a new high risk we've just talked about, that NAV file disclosure, but also we've not detected some findings. And the reason for this is because I tweaked the scanning engines and choose only nuclei. If you keep the schedule scans run as they are configured, you don't have such differences. Therefore, you can be notified only if there is something new, which is quite useful for when you are dealing with a lot of data. And we also have as an attachment in this notification email the report containing all the findings from the latest scan. So if you don't want to log in the platform every time, you can also easily scan the results here.
And these notifications can be sent via various channels like Slack, Microsoft Teams.
Yeah, exactly. We have a bunch of integrations here. You can also use a webhook with a notification, which allows for more flexibility, and a lot of other integrations. And we plan to add even more.
Yeah. So this concludes our short demo. We showed you how to perform a vulnerability scan into a private cloud environment in AWS with Pentest-Tools. As you saw, in less than 1 hour, we did all the setup from scratch, got also the vulnerabilities, also the report. So it's pretty straightforward. Let's go to the Q&A. So if you have further questions, please write them over there. To address Sasha's question about Sniper, I will make again a quick screen share and show you a report of the Sniper tool, of the automatic exploiter. So Sniper said that it has successfully exploited this service. And yeah, it says the exploited service, the vulnerability. And then Sniper, what it does, it extracts a series of artifacts from the target system in order to put them in a report and to prove the impact of the vulnerability. And some of these artifacts are operating system information. See, that's running as root IP address, a list of local users. Since this server is running in a Docker container, it has a single user at this point. These are the process list running on the machine. Disk drives. So a beautiful feature of Sniper is that it makes skimming of the file system and extracts some interesting files from there. For instance, if we go on the root server, on the root folder and the bash history, we can see the bash history of that server and the commands given by the sysadmin. Also, some interesting thing here, some password, which has left in the bash history. And for a complete logging, here is the complete list of commands that the history has run on the server and with their timestamp. So for full transparency on what's going on. I hope this answered the question. If there are any other questions, let's see. No questions for now, but we still have some from the people who have subscribed to the webinar. And Robert has asked us, how can Pentest-Tools be scaled for very large organizations with hybrid environments, on-premise, cloud, multiple tenants, and so on, with more than 100,000 devices? So Pentest-Tools is scalable at this point, and you can organize your work in workspaces for various parts of the network or sub-organizations. You saw that we can scan also private clouds, private networks, besides systems exposed to the internet. So Pentest-Tools is fit for this type of usage. Sasha also asks if scans are done from a single IP address or are load balanced. Scans at this point come from multiple IP addresses. This list is public, so it can be used to whitelist our services if it's necessary. And the nice part is that there is a single host name which resolves to the entire list of IP addresses, and this is scanners.pentest-tools.com. So if you whitelist this host name, you will whitelist the entire list of IP addresses. Florian also asked us how to ensure that scans do not violate providers' terms, trigger unintended responses, or incur additional hosts. Yeah, this is a good question. You must be aware that the deep scans that Pentest-Tools is running are simulating attacks from malicious actors who target the systems. So they have a good probability to be detected as such. That's why it's if you have control of the target system, it's a good approach to whitelist our IP addresses. Other than that, you can notify your customer, for instance, if you're doing services for your customer, you can notify them that the scans from these sources are okay and they should not get in panic for that. I think that would be good for now. We have other questions. So if not, we thank you very much, everybody, for staying with us and for allowing us to show what Pentest-Tools can do in this type of scenario. And we expect to see you at the next editions of our webinar. So thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. I just wanted to do a quick follow-up to say that we're going to be back with the recording in the following days. And thank you so much for joining us. See you on the next ones. Bye-bye.